Okay, next on the agenda is a summary of the I-5 commuter bus service project. Jim.
Yes, the first time the Senate and the House transportation budgets came out, our project was not, the budget proviso to operate between Longview via Kalama and Woodland and Allenay to Vancouver was not in either of the budget, or there was one budget from the House and there was four from the Senate. And so kind of thought that was the end of the story. But then before the House transportation budget was finally submitted for vote, it was slipped in. And so Chairman Bob Jack, I thank Chairman Pai for that. So it is in the House transportation budget. They're, of course, going to conference committee to talk about which elements of which budgets will be melded together to come up with the final transportation budget from the legislative side. So I'm guardedly hopeful that the proviso will go through and pass. Then, of course, the next hurdle will be Governor Ferguson. He's been very clear, understandably, that there's going to be no additional revenues. So for us to have the funding means something else is probably not going to be funded. So I don't know if we get redlined or not. That's just something we're going to have to wait and see. Unfortunately, it sounds like everything I'm understanding from the lobbyists and from staff here is that they will go into special session. So now we're running very, very close to July 1st before a decision is made, and we have our end here that we need to be able to respond to it. And so just so we don't completely strand the folks that are using the service now, I have before you and if you want to put that up, Tara, yeah. We have, if you look at the page that has a fully allocated cost of I-5 service, that was our original budget. That's what we've asked the state to fund 80% of the capital costs and 50% of the operating costs. For the period July to December 2025, you see the total operating is $209,701. Our 50% of that would have been $104,850. So knowing that was the number that we had at least initially committed to doing if we had the rest of the funding, I thought, well, if nothing else, can we do something with that amount of money? It's, of course, up to you to decide to do that. So the second page that is on here was a very quick and dirty development of what it would cost if we did like an AM and PM trip to 99th Street, which would replicate what CAP does now, the 6:30 in the morning trip going down and coming back, and then a 4:30 trip leaving here in the afternoon, going down and coming back. And then one midday trip that we would off schedule from what's currently happening so that we could meet at ALNA with C-Trans Route 48, which will be there about 47 minutes after the hour come this summer. And that way that would shorten that trip, be less expensive to operate, cut down the miles and our costs. And that would come in at estimated for 6 months, $95,778. So that's a risk, I understand, but that also doesn't strand those folks completely. And so I wanted to offer that as a stopgap until we know what's happening with the state budget. And you could operate that as long as you felt comfortable doing so. If the proviso doesn't go through, then we could curtail this with a normal process to inform the public and have a public hearing and so forth. But I just wanted to offer something that didn't just completely strand those people who have been using that service.